Hello, John here with another video, and this is part 6 of the CIDOS development video series. And in this video we are going to add the catalog command and the chain command. And if you remember, the catalog command is the command that will show you the directory directly to the C64 screen, and the chain command will actually save and verify your program in one operation. So if you cast your mind back to the original first video in this series, I was talking about how catalog is going to read the basic program, and a basic program is structured in such a way that it has 2 bytes at the very start. Now these 2 bytes normally indicate where the start of the program is going to load. Now in most basic programs it's 0801, I think it is. The next 2 bytes is a link reference to the line after, and this allows the list command and the basic interpreter to know where the next line is to read in. The next 2 bytes after that is the line number, then we have the basic commands and all that on the line, and then it terminates with a 0. So what we've got to do, we've got to read the first 2 bytes in, ignore them because we don't need to use them, read the next 2 bytes in, ignore them because we don't need them, read the next 2 bytes in. Now in this particular case it's not going to be the line number, but it's going to be the number of blocks in the file name, and so we need to convert these 2 bytes into a decimal number, and then we need to echo or put on the screen exactly what's in this line, because that whatever's in that line is actually the directory entry. And then we need to look for a single byte at the very end to tell us that that's the end of line, and then we have to do a counter return line for you, and then we repeat the whole process again, line by line by line, until we read in the link pointer 00, and as soon as we hit a 00 we know that's the end of the basic program, and so we terminate. So let's go to the code. So here we are. So go to the catalog. So this is the catalog command, and it's pretty in depth, so we're going to run through it a little bit. So we're setting up device file 8, file number 8. So we're setting up file number 8 on device whatever it is, and it's a 0, so that means load. Yeah, we want to load. So we set up the logical file names, and then we send it the file name, and when you load a directory it's the $sign. So then we set the name, and then we do an open. When we do an open, we check to see if there's an error, because if there's an error on the open statement the carry will be set. Now if the carry is not set, then we bypass it and carry here, but if it is set we transfer the error message, which is located in the accumulator, into X, and then we send it to our error routine, and so we'll know straight away. If there's no error, then we load the file number 8 and we set the channel to input, and again, once again, if we have an error, if we don't have an error we carry on here. If we do have an error we transfer the error number into X and go to our error handling routine. Then we start reading characters. So here we go. So we're going to start reading by the low byte of the start address. So these are the first 2 bytes of the file. Yeah, we load it in, we check the error status byte, and if it's not equal to 0, yeah, then we jump to the error system, and then the error system, I'll show you that works later on. If it is 0, it means there wasn't an error, and so the disk is in and we can carry on reading. So we read the next byte, which is the high byte, but we don't need to use those. Yeah, they're irrelevant. So we start, once those 2, then we can start the basic line. So the first 2 bytes of the basic line is the line number, so we load the first 2 in. The first 2 bytes of the line is the link, so we load those 2 in, and we're not really bothered. What we're going to do is we're going to check for a 0, and if it's a 0 then we know that's the end of the basic program. so we'll go to the end. If it's not a 0, we read the low byte of the line number and we store it away temporarily. We read the high byte of the number and then we load X with the low byte, and the decimal print routine will print any integer number where the X contains the low byte value and the accumulator contains the high byte value. Then we print a space because we want a space between the block numbers and the file name. Print it out, and then we start running through the basic line. So we go to the character in, we test if it's 0, which is the end byte. If it's not 0, then we print it out and we come back here and we loop round until we do get a 0, and then we jump out. When we jump out, we print a return, so we create a new line. We check to see if the users press the run stop key, because we want to be able to stop it. If it's a big listing, we want to be able to stop it. If it equals, then it goes to cat break, which then performs the break command. If it's not equal, then it gets the next basic line, which comes back up here and does the whole thing again, and it loops through and loops through until it hits the 0, the double 0, which is here, and then we go to cat end. Now cat end basically closes the file number and then jumps to the ready command. Now for error, we close the file number because we've got to close it, can't keep it open all the time. We load in device not ready because this is the very first error test. There could be no disk in it, so the device is not ready. We send it to the error handler. If you've pressed the run stop button, then we close the file numbers and then load the break error message and go to the error handler. Now the close file routine is basically clear the channel, load the file number 8 and then close it. And then that's it. That's the catalog. That is the catalog command. So we'll bring it into here. So we're going to, and because it's the first one, we're going to do SYS 32768. So we're going to run it and see what happens. Ooh, have we got an error? Have I? Like a plank. It should be there. Right, let's try again. Here we go. Right then, so here we are. So I'm just going to do new, just to show you there's nothing in the program, and we're going to do SYS 32768, and there you go, one directory listing. Now 32768, so we're going to test all the standard things. So when you press Control on the C64, it slows the print down. So there you go, print. So that's still working, and pressing the run stop key, there you are, break error. Now I'm going to turn on True Drive emulation and then do it again, and because we haven't mounted a disk, we should get some sort of error. So we do it, there you are, device not ready error. So that's saying it's not ready. So we'll mount a disk to drive 8, our test one, which hasn't got much in it. So we'll do it again, 32768, and there you go. And that's catalog. Simple, quite straightforward, and we've got error trapping in it this time. So the next one we've got in here is chain. So I'll unrem that, ready, and the chain command is as follows. And it's basically what we're doing is we're having to we do a save and a verify in the same go. So we're going to do the same thing again. So chain, we're initializing the file name index, and we do the same thing as we've done everywhere else. We get the file name from the command line. We store the length of the file name there, and what because we're storing it in the DOS buffer, we're testing the second character for a colon. And the reason why we're testing the second character for a colon is if you want to overwrite an existing program, you've got to scratch it first before you can save it again. So the chain command will have two functions. If it's got a colon in the second character, that means I want to scratch what's already there and then resave it. And I'll show you what I mean. If it doesn't equal a colon, it bypasses the scratch the old file routine. So to perform the save, which is the very first thing, so we're going to open up file number 8, set the device, and we're going to set it to save. Set the file names, then we load the file name character length, we point to where the file name is, and then we run this. Now the save command requires three things, and what it requires in the accumulator, it requires the pointer to the 0 page byte set that tells it where the start of the basic program is. And when you look at the C64 reference guide, 0 page byte 43 and 44 are the locations of start of basic, and then X and Y are the low and high bytes of the end of basic. So you're telling the save command where basic starts and where the basic program ends, and then you perform the save. Once the save has been done, we re-establish device file name 8. This time we set it to verify, set the file name, we set the name again, and then in this time the load command requires in the accumulator 0 or 1. Now if it's 0, that means load, but if it's 1, it means verify. So we're going to tell it that we're going to verify, and the start of basic pointers are 0 page locations 44, 43 and 44. Then we do the load, but we have to read the status system after the verify to find out if it failed or not. We AND it with 16, which is type mismatch, and if it's not equal, then we go to the error message. So if it's not equal to 16, then we go to the error message. In fact, yeah, that's right, AND it with 16. If it's not equal, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Got myself a bit confused there. If it's not equal, then we go to the error and say the verify mismatch, and then we jump to our error handling routine. And if it is okay, then we print out a message that says okay, and then jump to the ready. Now the scratch system basically overrides our colon to the point where we put the S in front of it, and we just run the scratch command, and then we remove the first two characters to save it. So here goes. Right, I'm just going to make sure that that's not there, because that's where we're going to be saving it. And here we go. So F5. There we go. So I'm going to just new it. I'm going to type in a program. 10 print John 20 print is 30 print fab. To a list. There you go. That's our small program. So we're going to do 32768, because that's where all test programs are, and we're going to call it John test, and then we're going to save it. We're going to press enter, and what this is going to do is going to save the program and verify it in one go. There you go. So it saved it and verified it, and it says it's okay. Okay, right, so we'll just do load the directory in, do a quick list, see if we can find it. There it is, John test. Okay, so we should be able to load it in. John test. Oops, would help if I told it where it is. the list. Hey, there it is. Now, what happens if we change the program? 40. Go to 10. So list it. Now we want to save it as the same thing. So 32768. But the difference is now is we need to put the @ sign in. Verify error. Yep. That is true. That is true. Right. That's not that one. That one. Then colon. So we're telling the chain command that we want to get rid of what was already there. So John test. So here we go. So the first thing it does is check see if there's a colon, which it is, and if there is a colon, it performs the scratch command before it does the chain. So here you go. Press enter. So saving John, searching for John Chest, verifying. OK. Okay. So load $ to make sure it's still there. Do a list. Is it there? There's John test. So I'm going to load John test. Don't need to do that. List. And there we go. That is the new version of the program. Now if we did a save, it would have failed because it would have said file name already exists or something like that. But because we put that @ in front of it, we're telling the chain command that we need to get rid of the old file and save the new one. And that's how you do the catalog and the chain command. So the next video is going to be, I think, what's next? Lock and unlock or something like that. But to be honest, I think we should be starting to put all these commands in a way that we can actually use them. So I might change the next video into actually starting to build the system where we can actually use the commands. I'll think about it, because doing all these commands, yeah, it's useful. We need them, but we'll see. I'll see how I feel. Alright, ladies and gents, I hope you liked it. If you do, let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye. I'd like to thank all the patrons that are contributing to my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you very much.